So we had planned Friday to be a pretty big session outside, and over the couple of days beforehand there was some pretty strong warnings of risk of thunder and lightning for the Friday. Under time restraints you have to make a decision pretty quickly. Being from Ireland, can't really deal with the rain too much, so I thought I'd better stay inside with the boys.
I think there was about 8.5 k's worth of running on the board, so the volume and what we did probably wasn't the hardest thing I've done, but being in the altitude room with 20 other blokes sweating, it was hot, couldn't really breathe. So nearly after every set you were going outside under the fan to get a bit of fresh air. So yeah, it was definitely tough, and another one of Kev's little things he thrown in, so yeah, just keep the boys on their toes.
It was pretty sweaty after the first session, never mind the second session of boys when they swapped over. To the extent now where we had to basically get the place all steam cleaned. Yeah, whenever you see some of the work that the boys are putting on the treadmill and some of the sweat splashing over you, it was a bit disgusting having to give them support high fives and slap backs, but the boys did tremendous to get through that session. So I think Faz usually suffers from some chronic chafing in his shorts, so he decided to go with the Speedo look. I don't know how well it looked, but he reckoned it functioned pretty well. Yeah, I think it gave the boys a bit of a laugh.
It's been good. You know, obviously we've got Kev here with the new program. You know, all the boys are loving it. You know, the footies have been out since day one, and no one really enjoys running that much. So to be able to run with the footies, I think it takes your mind off how much you're hurting at times, and you know, it makes you think about, you know, I need to hit this kick or hit this handball as well. So yeah, I've been loving it, and I think it's credit to Kev and all the other guys that are helping him out, because you know, the guys are really putting in, and I can see that we're getting rewards from it already. So it's only early, we've got a long way to go, but yeah, we're definitely tracking on the right direction. For me, usually when I come back, my skinnies are a little bit over, so we have to be under 50, and mine, you know, maybe hover around 55 when I get back, and that's probably the even more so than the 2K that I'm more worried about. So does it play on my mind? 100% it does, and yeah, the 2K is probably just the same, and the skin folds is another form of testing, so the same thing. But I've been back 3 weeks, and I think the work we've done, I'd probably already nearly be under 50.
One of the things that's vitally important in these sessions, like they're fairly basic drills. The coaching points have been really clear, and some of them have been consistent for quite a number of years now. I've just got an example of a drill that we want to set up today with the clear coaching messages. Once upon a time, we would have taught the one-handed pickup. It is something you might muck around with your friends, but these days, players almost always gather the ball with 2 hands. So that's what we'll teach you. If you're a right-hander, approach the football to its left so that you'll be using your preferred hand to pick it up. Again, the opposite applies if you're a lefty. As you get to the ball, step slightly past it with your left foot, lower your body to a crouch position by bending both knees and bending at the waist. Learn to brace yourself in this position in case of a bump coming your way. Pick up the ball by using your right hand to the rear of the ball and your left to the front. Focus on picking up the bottom half of the ball. You might even get grass under your fingernails if you do it properly. Begin the drills walking, but then progress to a jog and then a run. Basically, increase your speed as you begin to feel comfortable. Remember to practice approaching the ball from the other side so that you learn to use both sides of your body.
The Buick tackle effective. Masuti through Picken's legs. Coming back now is Johnson. Jason Johnson to the wing.
Once you've become more comfortable picking up the stationary ball, it will be time to practice on a moving object.
Yeah, so we just had the girls come in. I think we had 16 of the girls come and do our craft session this morning. So girls came and had breakfast with us, team meeting, prep, The girls went out a little bit earlier and did their conditioning, and then basically it was just a one club, one team mentality out on the track, and blokes with the chicks, and it was great. There's good vibes everywhere. Everyone learning from everyone. Sidey took us down to the goal square in the warm-up for a fun little warm-up, which was good, and I think everyone really enjoyed the session and got a fair bit out of it.
Bodywork stuff from the girls is sensational. Like, you're doing everything right, and then you think that was good, and then you like drop the mark. Yeah. So it's just that focus and concentration to finish everything that you do, because the bodywork is excellent. You know, the stuff that Dunny, you're doing with them is excellent and coming off, but then it might just be finishing it off with the mark as well. They're actually really competitive. A lot of the drills, obviously, we're going head to head with the men. So, when you're seeing like LYNDEN, DUNN, doing some body work with some of the young AFLW girls, they certainly got fast tracked pretty quick in learning how to position themselves in a lot of the drills. And I took a goal kicking drill, which was you had to keep your score, and they were very competitive as well. So it was a really good morning. Just hang on, you're on camera too. Hey, look, it's got you too. You're on camera. That missed. Maybe he ditched the gold boots.
There's probably been people that have been doubters of the game and been knocking it pretty hard, the women's footy. But what people don't remember or they forget about is that the women haven't been coached from a young age like men and boys have. Often facilities are poor, and yes, the game is congested at times, the women's game, and that's why there's only 16 a side, and the AFL's bringing in new rules this year to sort of open the game up a little bit, and at times it is scrappy. But when you look at it on a whole, and if anyone wants to come down to training and see the girls' skills, like, the girls are elite, like, they're the best in their field. Their skills are great. They're pretty hard. Like, they run straight lines at the footy. Probably teach a few of our blokes a few lessons, I reckon, with winning a hard ball. And the scope for improvement in the competition is immense.
Welcome to rehab life. It's a lonely place. I've had injuries in the past that have been long term now. I know how to deal with them. It's not a shock to the system. I know that I've got to not look too far ahead, because I know it's not going to get fixed just like that. And I've got to make sure that these days that I come in, I've got to make sure they're productive and look at opportunity instead of thinking I'm in a boot, I don't want to do anything, I just want to sit around. If I look at the negative, it's not going to get me anywhere. Couple more. During the off season, it felt okay when I wasn't running, and then I'd run and it'd be uncomfortable, but I was a little bit naive because I could still run, and I felt like, I don't know, maybe it's not something. And then when I came back and we got another scan and had a look at it, we basically said we've got time now to get it right and be 100%, or we can let it grumble along. Potentially it might get right, but it's better off that we go see a surgeon, get a third opinion, see what he says, and yeah, the rest is really history. They went in and fixed it up, so hopefully I've got a brand new ankle. We had a chat where I could probably get through like seasons, but I wouldn't have that, I suppose, like I'd be playing at 85%, where if I'm playing, I want to be playing at 100%. So, because if I can't jump or if I can't sprint or change directions, then I can't bring my best.
Can you see when you're here and you look down through your leg, you see
Yeah.
where your knee is?
Yeah.
Can you see how your hip's sitting like it wants to
Like
sit
that?
on? Yeah. So
Yeah.
keep it straight.
I've been doing some rehab with Paula. I've worked with her through my first ankle, my second ankle, and now this. So we've got a really good relationship where we bounce ideas off each other. She knows that she needs to pull me back at times, but then I need to be pushed as well.
Last one. That's your third set. Done.
If I didn't have her, I don't think I'd be getting back to playing in the times that I have. Especially with my back, I got really frustrated because Paula was telling me to do these things that I did not have a clue how to do it at all. And then now it feels like it's second nature, and I feel like I'm more fine-tuned with my body now more than ever. So I suppose when I look at these injuries, obviously it's disappointing, but at the same time I've learned so much about what I can do with my body, and I suppose preparation and recovery, it kind of makes that even more important for me, and I don't take that for granted. It was really awkward.
Absolutely.
Stick comes off, what's happening?
Yeah, my posture's out. I've got to remember that I've just got to bring it back. If there's pain, and it's identifying whether it's pain that it's bad and it's going to set me back, or it's pain that it's just a little grumble and it won't be that bad. I've got to make sure that I identify which is which instead of pushing it. I'm off the crutches now, basically. Full weight bearing through the boot. I'm in the boot for another week and a half to 2 weeks. Then I'm weight bearing just in runners and walking around for 3 or 4 weeks, and then gradually build up to start running again.